Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Easy Days Rules of Third. I am your host, Maria the Creative. I have two panel guests today, amazing photographers. To my left, I have Alexis Cleo, and to my right, I have Justin Jacobs. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Awesome. So let's get into it.
Um, Taking pictures of clouds. Literally,
Yeah.
that's what I did. I just started taking pictures of clouds, then crickets, then flowers. I was like, oh, I can move this on to people.
Yeah.
Let's see what I can get. Basically,
For me, it was a lot of. Well, I started dancing first, and I just, wanted just to record on my phone and whatnot. So, that's all I did. But then out of nowhere, I'm like, I'm just buy a camera and see how it goes. And then kind of fell in love with the camera. And then my first gig was actually just was a wedding. And from that point, I had no choice but to learn how to use the camera on the fly. So, from that
Yeah.
point on, I just fell in love with the camera.
Well, I always enjoyed taking pictures with my phone. And so I used to always catch really amazing shots with my phone, not really thinking about photography itself, but just the art of it. And so earlier this year, I said, I'm gonna get me a camera. I didn't get the camera initially to do photography because I wanted to do cinematography because I write and stuff and wanted to make film. So this is before I met Easy Day. I didn't have anyone to film with. So I was like, I'm just going to buy my own camera and learn the camera and start filming or whatever. And so when I got the camera, I went to the Bahamas that same week and I just started taking pictures and it just kind of went from there. And I just started to learn about composition and all of that stuff. And then I got my first gig at a church event and I've just been shooting ever since.
My first camera was a Canon T3i, and I didn't know what to do. All I saw was just random buttons on the camera, so I'm just like, what's the ISO?
Right.
What's the f-stop? I don't understand none of these phrases, so it was just like, what am I doing here?
Right.
But the more YouTube videos I watched and the more hands-on I got with the camera, the easier it got, and then just the whole composition, everything just fell into place. Once I started actually, working and playing with the camera the whole time.
my first camera was a Canon 70D. I'm in the process now. I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, I don't know. So it's just, just push and practice and just see what it is. I mean, it's my first camera ever. Like, originally I went to Best Buy and I was looking for a camera. I was like, okay, I'm gonna drop some money on a camera today. Like, it's time.
Right.
Then I was like, I don't know. Let me try the pawn shop. And it was a 70D there, and he was originally he was gonna like make me pay like $8 for it, but he gave me a deal. He gave me a really good deal, so I was like, oh, this meant to be. I got a case, I got a charger, I got lenses, so this is sweet. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out all my stuff now. So
I feel you.
My first camera was a T6i, and I shot around with that for a little while until I was trying to use an external monitor with it, and it wouldn't work. And I didn't know at the time that you can't have your Wi-Fi turned on and use the external monitor at the same time. So I went back to Amazon and told them that my camera's not working. So it was like, oh, don't worry about it. We'll send you your money back. Keep the camera. So I was like, okay, cool. So I took that money and I upgraded my camera. And so now I have the 80D. So, yeah.
Cool. True.
lighting is everything.
Yes,
Lighting is the key.
absolutely.
Is the key.
It is.
Like, you could be a great photo, the scene could be good, like how they looking could be great, everything lined up. If the lighting is not there, it's done deal. Just throw it all away. Just
True.
That's true. I'd say learning composition for me. Lighting definitely was the first one I was going to say too.
Right.
But after lighting, I would say composition. I had to learn to not just pay attention to the subject, that I need to pay attention to everything around that subject and how to frame that subject up nicely so that not only just take a nice picture, but the picture actually says something, that it gives a story, if you will. So I would say composition for sure.
And I would say it's okay to fail, only because of you just started out, learning the camera itself, and then also you don't know what you're doing. So you learn from your mistakes to, not saying have OCD, but you see small details of what you could have did better. And then from there, it's just like, you know what, I'm going to switch it up, fix this, fix that. And then, how you said lighting is, key to everything, which it is, because like you said, you can have like the great framing and all that stuff, but if the light is not perfect, then you got no great picture at all.
That's so true.
Yeah. Self-taught, basically. Like I said, with a wedding, me and Steph, we had to do a wedding. He did the video portion of it. He was like, yeah, just start taking photos. And I'm like, all right, cool. I asked questions like at least 50 times. Like, I don't know how many times I kept asking him questions, but that whole day I was just taking photos. Some were horrible. From that time then till now, it's like a whole drastic change, and it's crazy how you can just see like how much progression that you can do once you practice and you make that your craft. It's real cool.
That's so true. I'd say it's just practice, like just shooting. I know that when I linked up with Easy Day, they always working, and so I always had an opportunity to pull my camera out and start learning. And I have my camera out, and Steph will come up behind me. Oh yeah, you're so too high, or your f-stop is too low. Like, and so getting corrected on the spot like that, I learned a lot. And so just practicing and getting that camera out and keep shooting and paying attention to your mistakes and looking at the details of the photo and trying to figure out where did you go wrong.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, this don't look bad, but why does it look bad? What made it not work? And then just kind of learning from there, and then using that same principle with the next shot. Also, and thinking about the shot when I'm shooting, because I used to, when I first got the camera, I'd just be clicking, just moving around, just all over the place like a rabbit, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm more thoughtful about the shot. I look at it and I'm planning in my head, what would look good, what wouldn't look good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
True.
Yeah, I would say practice. Steph helped me a lot. It's some photographers in Wilson too. It's like a whole group of them. They added me in the group. They helped me out a lot. And just videos and learning from your mistakes and all that. Because, I mean, right now I'm still trying to figure out, like, my buttons. But Steph changed my settings to, like, manual. So that was number one. Like, I already, from what I was taking, like, how I was taking pictures from when he changed it, I was like, oh, snap. So now I'm getting into, like, Photoshop, and I'm getting more into lighting and just trying to, like, I guess, get it clear. So that way when I go back to edit, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But it's a lot to learn. I mean, I guess you learn every day. You'll never be 100%. So, I mean,
yeah.
Because you're learning something every single day with that camera, so there's always something to learn.
Yeah.
Even if you have to go back to the basics, there's always something to learn.
Yeah, that's true.
My biggest inspiration, that's a great question. I would say I'm not gonna say I don't know who my biggest inspiration, but I guess the people that I'm around. So I say Easy Day, I would say is my biggest inspiration, because I learn a lot. Because we have the models and we have photographers and we have the stylists. We have everybody with Easy Day. So I've learned a lot with Easy Day, and I guess Easy Day is the one that inspired me the most throughout this whole photography process.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely say my teammates. But it's like there's some amazing photographers on Instagram, but I don't know their names. I just follow them and I just know that they have some amazing compositions. I think it's this one company out in Atlanta. I think they're called Creative something, Creative Soul, Creative Studios, something like that. But they always do like these Afrocentric types of shoots. And they usually do them on children. They'll put on like this tribal makeup on them and put them in this tribal get up and do like this African inspired hairstyle on the kids and take pictures of them. And they look very regal and, very Afrocentric. And I love it. Like the composition is so gorgeous and the shot is so sharp. Like not sharp like in a bad way, but like the image is so clear and so like the skin, you can see every detail and it's just so perfect. And I'm like, man, it's great. But yeah, that I would say that would be my inspiration because I do follow them, and because in the beginning my struggle, and it's still kind of my struggle, is like dealing with the focus on my camera and the different settings of focus for particular objects or people or in the different settings. And so sometimes I struggle with that, but now I'm like doing manual focus now. I notice that I get my best shots when I'm in complete manual from start to finish. And I noticed that those people who are getting those shots that I admire so much, a lot of them, they're very stable with their hands. So either they're on a tripod or they have very stable hands. And I realize I'm a very bouncy person. So some of my shots wouldn't be as crisp as I would like them. And they're getting there now because I'm learning, the different settings in the camera, but I'm also learning the focus. And like I said, that I'm getting my best shots when I'm in complete manual mode, not just in my camera, but also in the focus as well.
Yeah. This might be cheesy, but like my biggest inspiration is like everything. Like I follow a lot of photographers. Like I can hear a song, I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. I want to do this at this shoot, or I can just anything like inspires me. And that's how I am really about anything. Like I'm really passionate. So like I can grab inspiration from couch. I mean, that's just how it is. Like so, I mean, y'all helped me out a lot. Everything. Honestly, I literally grab inspiration from a lot of people. I mean, I follow a lot of photographers on Instagram myself, and I see those images. I don't know if we talking about the same company, but like it's this company, I guess, or photographer, I don't know, who follows me, and they do the same thing. It's like very Afrocentric, and it's like you said, those images like pop, like they pop, and you actually just put me on with the whole like focusing and being steady because I'm really like.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stay still for nothing. So, like, there we go.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's right. But I learned that from these guys, of course, but also the YouTube videos. I Googled my specific camera, and I was trying to figure out, like, why, because I kept saying, why is my images not as sharp? Because it looks like that in your camera, right? Yeah. But then when you put it on the screen, it's like, ooh. That wasn't as sharp as I thought it was. So learning to like punch in on the shot where I can like do the manual focus and get it just right. Because sometimes autofocus is great if it's like a whole bunch of stuff going on. Right. And you don't have time to kind of frame your stuff up real good. Right. So that's great. But like getting it steady where I'm either locking my arms and try to ground myself so I'm not doing too much movement, making sure my shutter speed is a little higher and not too low because then that shutter will make it blurry. And then, or trying to shoot on a tripod and just like getting it stationary in that way. So that was the secret sauce that I was missing. And I still haven't perfected it yet, but I swear it was like from night and day when I realized that was what it was. So yeah.
And also I want to add just also it could be to the point where there's not really no level that you can be as a photographer. You can be good, you can be bad. It goes back and forth. So with you just starting, I still get inspiration from what you post. Same thing for you, Maria. So it's really everything, like you said, can be an inspiration because they know something that you don't.
Yeah.
It can be the smallest little thing. So.
Yeah, that's so true.
I would say, well, what I started out with was portrait photography, and I mean, I want to say all styles because I want to be like chosen or picked to be at a specific choice of, I guess, a certain style of photography, where it's like urban photography, landscape, whatever. It just really depends on how I feel at the time. So if I feel like at the moment I want to do landscape, I'll go and do landscape. If I want to do urban, I'll do urban. But I see where my niche is between photography and urban. That's where I stick to, but I want to learn all styles. But right now it's between the urban and portrait photography.
I would say my niche probably, I mean, I started out, my first gig was an event. And I think I'm very good at capturing candid moments. I don't like, I mean, I do portrait photography and that's all good. But I like event photography where people are just in their moment, in their essence, and you just capture that instead of you like, hey, put your head up, sit like this, do that. Like, I like for it to be an organic move.
Right.
Like, even when I'm working with models, I like to work with models that I don't have to really give you direction. I give you the theme or the inspiration that I have, my vision, and you just go for it. I don't want to have to, like, direct you that much on the set. So I love event photography, and I love urban photography because I love the metropolitan setting. Like, I love seeing street lights and streets and cars and you know, things like that. And I love color. So my pictures normally are in a colorful setting where I love to pull all the colors out, make it more vibrant, but yet editorial. So that's kind of where I'm building my niche on is a colorful editorial type pieces, whatever it is. So, but yeah, so event photography, urban photography is my favorite.
I would say I do a lot of portrait. I do a lot, like you said, like just like I do a lot of portrait photography, but I really want to get into street photography. I really want to get into that. I met this lady in Wilson. They I didn't even know they had this, but they have this big photography event every year where they have photographers from like all over, from like England, everywhere, and they come down. And they had like these meetings. Well, I met one of them. And we accidentally went to her house, actually, because she took a picture of my friend. She was like, well, come find me this day, and then you come find me this day, and I'll give you your pictures. So we went downtown looking for it, and then we went into these lofts. Well, the loft said office. Well, it wasn't an office. It was a house. So we just walked right into her house. And she was editing in, and then she was going through her pictures, and I was like, wow. Like, you're an amazing, like, wow. And that, like, piqued my interest. I was like, okay, I think I want to get into, like, street photography. But, I mean, I do a lot of portraits now. Like, I take a lot of pictures of people. And, like, that's fun. And I like bringing people's, like, you know, their confidence out. I like to see people get happy, like, oh, look so pretty. Like, oh. But, like, I don't know. I just like for things to be, like, natural. I like for things to be, like, organic. So, like, that's where I want to, like, kind of go into, like, street photography. But... like you said, like, I want to learn all types. I want to be beast at everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, that's where the money at. And, I mean, creativity is, like, endless. You can come up with so much. So, like, I want to all types. But, like, street photography, that's going to be my thing for or whatever.
That's
so,
yeah.
Confidence. Because, I would say competition, but mainly it's confidence. Because if I never met these two, and I know they were photographers, but I never like met you guys on a personal level, I would feel like, I guess, intimidated if I just started, just because your stuff look great, your stuff looks great. But if I'm not confident in my own work, then I'm not going nowhere. So it's like I have to humble myself to know that, you know, I'm still learning. I still can improve. why not just ask questions and, you know, hopefully you guys are humble enough to help me out and I can help you out with something I don't know. So confidence is the biggest thing to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and you kind of touched on what I was going to say as far as like, it's so many photographers.
It is.
It's so many photographers. When I picked up my camera, like, I guess it just wasn't on my radar because, again, I didn't buy my camera with the initial plan to become a photographer.
Yeah.
It
happened.
It just happened. And when I realized how many people in this area does it, it does intimidate you because it's like it's so many people who are out here with a camera who's been doing it longer than you, you know, who probably, you know, got a little clout or whatever, and you're just kind of like, I'm just here with my little camera. But yeah, so I think that's the struggle, but you definitely gotta encourage yourself. Let you know your lane is just as much valuable as anybody else's lane that's out here, and you can always still carve out your own niche,
Right.
and still, you know what I'm saying? Because just because it's like a million photographers, they can't capture a image the way you can because
Right.
it's your eye, it's your perspective,
Right.
and at the end of the day, we're storytellers, and we all have a different story to tell. So I have to keep reminding myself of that. Like,
Right.
we all have our own different thing that we bring.
I think the biggest thing for me, and I guess because like I'm a little sensitive person, but it would be support. Because I mean, you guys have helped out a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like Steph tries to include me when he can, when I'm available. But I follow like a lot of photographers and like a lot of people in Raleigh, and like I know people in my own city who take, you know, photos. But the one thing that bothers me is kind of like no one cares about you unless you have clout. It's like someone may take a picture, and I mean, like, not even the shade, but it might not be all that, but you got this picture over here, and it's like, wow, you took your time. You can tell that you took your time. You know, you put your heart in it, and it's like nobody cares about it. But this big name over here, like, they just took this picture, and it's like, oh, because you are who you are. And I mean, it's a photographer following me, and I mean, she's great, and I like her a lot. And I remember I DM'd her. I was just like, you know, your like photos inspire me. It makes me want to go harder, you know, da da da. And like I see her, she sends me like DMs and stuff of like, oh, repost my photos, da 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 da. And she's in New York, but I never get that back. I have artists. I have
wow.
Yeah, like I know like musicians or whatever who like make music. They always want me there to take my pictures for free, and it's like that's straight, you know. Business supporting business, people supporting,
Right.
But you don't repost my pictures, you don't tag me in my photos, and it's like it's not even that I need the clout, but I'm growing my business as well as you,
right?
And if we're gonna work together. But you don't get that a lot. It's just everybody wants your camera, everybody wants you there.
Yep.
Look, them SD cards can't cost. This gas costs.
These lenses
cost. Look,
money.
Okay.
I cost like it. I understand doing stuff for free. Like sometimes you don't even need to get paid, but it's just a thank you, just to show that you appreciate the time that I put in.
Or just give me some lunch money.
Cookout.
I'll work for food.
I swear, like give me some cookout. Like,
exactly. Like Jesus Christ.
3 quesadillas and chill while I'm great.
As long as you acknowledge the work that I'm doing,
value it.
Right.
Value it.
Because I don't think people realize like the work that you put in. Like I mean, I just started kind of like getting serious about it, and then like it used to be like, okay, I'm gonna just fix this like Visco. Okay, I'm gonna upload, but like now I'm actually getting into like lighting and like putting it in Photoshop and okay, let me not export and all this because it's gonna mess with the picture. Okay, so let me do like I'm actually taking my time and I'm getting off work doing this, and it's just like I just took 50 photos of you and now I spent this time on it and I get no appreciation.
People think it's just you take a picture, you edit it real quick, you send it out, but no. It's just a whole process when it comes to editing photos.
Right.
Exactly.
It's like with lighting itself, because you got to pay for these lights. You got to pay for the battery for the camera. You got to pay for the camera. You got to pay for the lenses. you got to pay for every individual piece that makes this one picture pop.
Right. And
There's
for
so
you,
many things.
and like not even cut you off, it's like for that person, it's a picture. But
Yeah.
for me, it's like,
Right, because that one
That's
picture
like-
takes me up to an hour to
Yeah.
edit and make sure that
Right.
it is perfect. So that's just one.
right.
Now
You
let's say
want,
we're
like 50.
we're editing 50 to 100 shots.
And
You
you
know what
want
I'm
all of
saying?
them.
Yeah, and then even after I edit them, I still go back and I look at them and I
Mm-hmm.
look at them and I look at them and I look at them. Like I'm just obsessed with them. So my editing process, easy 5 hours for 50
Yep.
freaking shots. Easy. That's a low number. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to give you, even if you're not even paying me,
Right.
I want to give you my best quality work.
Yep.
And so like you're saying, you know, all the work that goes into it, people don't value that, and then
Right.
it starts to make you feel some kind of way.
Right.
Because
Because now I'm just like, no. I'm not coming. No.
Exactly.
Right. And it's like, it shouldn't be that way. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, as a community, as artists in general, whether you write poems, whether you rap, whether you do anything, I mean, let's work. Like, let's work. Let's grind together. Like, I could benefit from you. You could benefit from me. I mean,
Right.
no one wants to support, so.
Because just like for videographers, they put a lot of work into edit these videos. Same thing goes into photography. It's just the same. It's just motion picture. It's just, it all falls in together with the same thing. So
Right.
as long as people understand that, you know, the hard work that we put in for photography and the passion that we put in for photography, they'll understand a lot more. Like, okay, he or she is very serious about this. Let me, you know, take my time and watch them do their work and
Right.
actually appreciate the stuff that they do.
Okay. So, guys, that would be it for this episode. I want to thank you for tuning in. My panel guests, if you guys would like to give them your Instagram or Facebook where they can find you.
It'll be Alexis Cleo the Great, CL 2 E's the Great.
And mine is just_Jake, so JUS_JAKE_.
And you can find me at Maria the Creative on Instagram. And you can also find my business page at Godbox Productions and Facebook Godbox Productions. Well, guys, that's it. That's all we have. Make sure that you tune in next week for another episode of Rules of Third. Hey, guys, like this shirt? You can find this and more merch on our website down below.